Good evening. The opposite of love is not hate, it is indifference. One cell by L.I. Welsel. Welcome to BMC News Live presented by Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers English News. Myself, Shana Sultana, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. NPRA launched service to renew and deliver passports to Bahrainis abroad. Bahrain's tourism sees a strong rise in demand. Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture Minister headed Bahrain's delegation of the GCC Agriculture meeting. Minimum 90-day passport validity required to issue re-entry visa in Saudi. Private sector must strictly follow new labor laws, UAE announced. Today's news in detail. NPRA launched service to renew and deliver passports to Bahrainis abroad. The National Passports and Residency Affairs NPRA announced yesterday that the launch of a service of renewing the passports of citizens living abroad. The service also includes delivering the passports to them. The facility is expected to contribute to saving time and efforts of citizens. Interior Ministry Under-Secretary for Nationality, Passports and Residence Affairs Sheikh Hisham bin Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa said that the service would be processed within 10 working days, while it used to take more than 2 months. He hailed the ongoing cooperation with the Foreign Ministry to provide all possible facilities for citizens living abroad. The NPRA has signed a cooperation agreement with DHL Express to benefit from the company's accumulated expertise in secure and fast delivery of documents all over the world. The agreement comes within the implementation of the 24 initiatives launched by the Cabinet to develop NPRA services as part of the economic recovery plan that requires taking all procedures for fast processing of applications and facilitating services. The NPRA strives to continue developing services to achieve client satisfaction with the highest quality level. It has been announced. Leaders vow to consolidate ties. Bahrain, Egypt and Jordan have stressed the importance of scaling up their strategic partnership to the highest level. This stance was announced during a tripartite summit in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, which was attended yesterday by His Majesty King Hamad, King Abdullah of Jordan and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Urgent decision on loan deferrals discussed. MPs have warned that Bahrain's market would suffer a blow if a decision over bank loan deferrals is not taken today. 20 legislators led by the Bahrainization Committee Chairman Ibrahim Al-Nafai have urged the Cabinet and the Central Bank of Bahrain CBB to defer loans until the end of this year. The Bahrain Summer Festival will return to an in-person format for the first time since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The festival will be held from July 11th to 31st under the slogan Golden Edition to commemorate 50 years of Bahrain sovereignty and will feature a series of multicultural performances and workshops. Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers Bahrain's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Bahrain's marine survey capabilities praised. Survey and Land Legislation Bureau SLRB President and Real Estate Regulatory Authority RERA Chief Executive Sheikh Salman bin Abdullah bin Hamad Al Khalifa received head UK's Hydrographic Office UKHO's Rear Admiral Red Hutcher. Sheikh Salman congratulated him on his appointment to the key post in one of the most prestigious institutions specializing in marine surveys in the world. Arab Reading Challenge winners honored. Education Minister Dr. Majid Al-Naimi visited the Al-Ahad Al-Zahar Secondary Girls School, the winner of the Outstanding School Award in the 6th edition of the Arab Reading Challenge, Bahrain chapter. He said that the massive participation of Bahrain schools and students in the Arab Reading Challenge embodies the solid Bahrain-UAE relations across various fields, including education. Bahrain's ambassador to Egypt has praised His Majesty King Hamad on his visit to Egypt. Bahrain's ambassador to Egypt, Hisham Al-Jautar, has praised His Majesty King Hamad's visit to Egypt. He highlighted the king's meeting with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in Sharm el-Sheikh on Saturday as an affirmation of the historical relations between the two countries. Bahrain's tourism sees a strong rise in demand. The tourist season is showing signs of a strong revival this year, with demand for travel witnessing an 80% increase compared with 2019, according to Bahrain Travel and Tourism Association Chairman Jihad Amin. This is due to Bahrain's success to overcome the COVID-19 crisis, people's strong desire for travel after taking precautions for 2 years, and availability of vaccines, he added. Now we shall go for a short commercial break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back. Al-Hilal Multi-Specialty Medical Center East Rifa conducted a free medical campaign at Sofitel Hotel Zalak on 19 June 2022. Blood sugar, blood pressure, height, weight and BMI were checked for 150 plus staff of the hotel. Al-Hilal has collected blood for Healthy Life full body checkup package for top level staff of the hotel. Al-Hilal also distributed mini comprehensive checkup coupons in the camp. US ties reviewed. Parliament Speaker Fauzia Zainal met US Assistant Secretary of Staff for Near Eastern Affairs Barbara Leaf in the presence of Bahrain's ambassador to the US Sheikh Abdullah bin Rashid Al Khalifa. They discussed ways of boosting parliamentary cooperation and issues of common interest. Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture Minister headed Bahrain's delegation at the GCC Agriculture meeting. Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture Minister Wael bin Nasser Al Mubarak headed Bahrain's delegation at the Gulf Cooperation Council GCC Agriculture meeting. Al Mubarak affirmed the ministry's support led by His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, for joint Gulf action to contribute to the advancement of the food sector. He said that Bahrain stands with the GCC countries in supporting initiatives and programs that would be tributary to the sectors of agriculture, fisheries and livestock to contribute to increasing local production and boosting local sufficiency. Minimum 90-day passport validity required to issue a re-entry visa in Saudi Arabia. The minimum period of validity required for issuing exit and re-entry visa for expats is 90 days, the General Directorate of Passports Jawazat stated. The Jawazat stressed that the duration of exit and re-entry visa shall be valid for 3 months for travel from the date of issuance of the visa if the duration is specified in months 60, 90 and 120 days. The duration of the visa will be calculated from the date of travel, but if the duration is limited to a number of days or returned before a specified specific date, the duration of visa will be calculated from the date of its issuance. The Jawasat said that the fee for issuing a single exit and re-entry visa is amounted to 200 Saudi riyals for a single trip with a maximum period of 2 months, and 100 Saudi riyals is charged for each additional month within the limits of the validity period of the residency permit, which is the Iqama. The fee for issuing a multi-exit and re-entry visa is amounted to 500 Saudi riyals for several trips for a maximum period of 3 months, and 200 Saudi riyals is charged for each additional month within the limits of the validity period of Iqama. It is worthy to note that it is required for an expatriate for travel to have a valid visa and a valid travel document with totally complying with the conditions to re-enter the country of destination. Saudi Arabia crowned AFC U23 champion. Saudi Arabia was crowned the AFC U23 Asian Cup Uzbekistan 2022 championship after beating Uzbekistan 2-0 in the final on Sunday. The young Falcons, the power in the second half with the Ahmed Al Ghamdi and Firas Al Birkan finding the back of the net as Saudi Arabia lifted the title for the first time after having finished runner-ups in 2013 and 2020. The 2022 title was won with Saudi Arabia not conceding a single goal in 6 matches. Not surprisingly, the early minutes at the Bunyodkar Stadium were a cagey affair with neither team willing to take risks. Private sector must strictly follow new labour laws, UAE announced. The Abu Dhabi Labour Court on Sunday warned private sector employees in the UAE to strictly follow the new employment rules that came into effect on force on February 2nd. The new labour law at a glance: people can opt for temporary and flexible work, freelance jobs, condensed work hours, and shared jobs. This should be agreed with the employer. Discrimination on the basis of race, color, gender, religion, nationality, social origin, or disability is prohibited. Employers cannot withhold employees' documents such as passports, and they cannot charge workers recruitment fees. Employment contracts can last as long as 3 years, and any indefinite contracts must be changed to fixed term contracts that can be renewed. Probation period should not be more than 6 months. A 2-week notice must be given if an employee is terminated during this time. Employees who want to change jobs during the probation period must give a month's notice and a 14-day notice if they want to leave the country. Employers may not force workers to leave the country after the end of the work relationship or the termination of a work contract. Instead, workers will be allowed to move to another employer, and there are plans to allow people up to 180 days to find job without overstaying their visa. No more than 2 hours of overtime are allowed in 1 day under the new law. Should the nature of the job require more than 2 extra hours in a day, employees must receive an overtime wage that is 25% more than their regular hourly pay. All employees are entitled to pay a rest day with the option of more depending on the contract. The new law brings in the possibility of a non-compete clause being written into a contract. An employer is now allowed to stop an employee from competing against them or to participate in a competing project in the same sector. This is on the basis that the employee's job has allowed them access to privileged information. It has been announced. No changes in school calendar, summer holiday dates for teachers in UAE. No changes have been made to the end of the year to the school calendar and holiday system for teachers, which will start on Monday, July 18th. The ESE had in October last year issued a schedule for the academic year calendar for all teachers, which included the date for the end of the current year school year, which was Thursday, July 14th. Following the implementation of the new weekly holiday system in the UAE, in which working days start from Monday to Friday and Saturday and Sunday is the weekend. The last day of the current academic year will be then Friday, July 15th. The Minister of State for Public Education and Chairperson of the Emirates School Establishment ESC said. Kuwait to witness massive heat wave in coming days. The meteorological department expects a massive heat wave in the coming days with temperatures to exceed 50 degrees Celsius. Recently, Kuwait recorded the highest temperature on earth as the mercury hit 52.7 degrees Celsius in the shade in Jahra Gonerate. We are in the period that is the hottest for the entire world, Kuwaiti astronomer Adil Al Saudun said, adding temperatures will start to drop in September. The Arabian Gulf region witnesses a significant rise in temperatures during summer with severe heat waves that last for several days. Al Ujairi Scientific Center announced on Sunday that on Tuesday, Kuwait will witness 14 hours and 2 minutes of daytime as opposed to 9 hours and 58 minutes of nighttime. Public Relations Director at Al Ujairi Scientific Center, Khalid Al Jaman, said that this phenomenon happens due to Kuwait's unique geographic location in the north of the Gulf region. This happens every year because of the sunlight movement reaching its maximum extent in the northern half of the globe, he added. He pointed out that the sun is at its highest point these days and will gradually wane from July 5. Pfizer to buy 8.1% stake in French vaccine company Valneva. Pfizer agreed to invest 90.5 million euros, which is the $95.24 million, to buy an 8.1% stake in French vaccine company Valneva. The companies announced developments in their partnership to tackle Lyme disease. Pfizer will buy the stake in Valneva and is also working on its COVID-19 vaccine at a price of 9.49 euros per share via a reserved capital increase. Monsoon floods kills 42 people, millions stranded in Bangladesh and India. At least 25 people were killed by the lightning or landslides over the weekend in Bangladesh, while millions were left marooned or homeless in low-lying northeastern parts hit by the worst monsoon floods in the country's recent history, officials said. In the neighboring Indian states of Assam, at least 17 people were killed during the wave of flooding that began this month, police officials said on Sunday. Many of Bangladesh's rivers have risen to dangerous levels and the runoff from heavy rain from across Indian mountains exacerbated the situation, said Afrida Bhug, the head of the state-run flood forecasting and warning center. Thousands of policemen, army personnel have been deployed to parts of the country to help search and rescue efforts. About 100,500 people have been evacuated so far, but police officials estimated that over 4 million were still stranded. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates on BMC News Lab English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off, Pishana Sultana. Good night.